The Full Circle. With DC.
And a very, very, very good day, everybody. My name is DC. I am the host of The Full Circle, a podcast where we link songs together, the first song having a link to the second song, and so forth until the last song has a link to the first song, hence completing the full circle. Thank you so much to everyone that's been tuning in from day one, and thank you so much if you're a new listener. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoy the show, and I really hope you enjoy the content. This week's show is a pretty full-on show, so I'm going to mention about a ticket giveaway that I'm doing, and I'm also going to give you some advice on how to maybe get tickets yourself, especially those tickets that are just a bit more trickier to get, a bit more popular, and you sort of have to get them straight away. I'm also bringing back my rant of the week. That is coming back this week. I'm also giving some shout outs. I'm also going to announce a guest on the next show. And I'm also going to do a BuzzFeed quiz. And obviously in between all that, the full circle. So what's the first song going to be? Well, I think we have to start with this one because this is the band where I am doing a ticket giveaway. The band, they're called President, and the song is The Name of the Father. There's been a lot of speculation about this band, about this group. They appear to be a masked collective. They've released 2 songs at the time of this podcast. This podcast is going to be released the day after they have performed at Download Festival. And they're doing a gig at the venue called The Garage in London. It was very sought after. That's on Wednesday, the 30th of July, 2025. Tickets are sold out instantly. Do not despair though. I have 2 tickets to give away. No catches, nothing whatsoever. All you need to do is go on my Instagram page, Full Circle Podcast DC, and there will be a post regarding this giveaway, and all you have to do is like the post, follow the Full Circle page, and comment by tagging one person you want to bring with you. So if President are your thing, if they're your band and you want to check them out, and there's probably not going to be many other ways to sort of see them, I'm giving away 1 pair of tickets. All you have to do is follow Full Circle Podcast DC on Instagram, like the post, and comment by tagging the person you want to bring with you to see President. It closes on the 29th of June, 2025. So you've got a bit of time if you're listening to this when this show has come out. But if you have listened to this after, I'm afraid your entry will not be counted. Full terms and conditions are available, and I'll put that as a link on my Instagram or on my bio. Okay, so President are performing at the Garage. They've caused a lot of intrigue. Their tickets sold out in under a minute. It's absolutely disgusting that touts are selling them for extortionate prices. I am giving away 2 for free. I have no affiliation with the band or the venue or the promoter. You need a Ticketmaster account to enter the giveaway. Now, here's my advice on trying to get tickets just in general for shows that are difficult or competitive or popular. So make sure you have an account and you have cards saved. This is really important for Ticketmaster in particular. Check you have enough money in your account. It's probably best to use a credit card if you can. I know that sounds really simple, but these simple things can be less so, especially with the added stress of trying to get tickets. The next thing I would advise, sign up for any pre-sale. So artist pre-sale, album pre-sale, O2 Priority, Live Nation, etc. Any pre-sale, sign up for it. When an artist announces a show and they share their own links, so they might share one from Ticketmaster, they might share one from C-Tickets, for instance. Try and see if they haven't shared links you could buy tickets from, because that could then give you an opportunity to buy tickets at a site that people may not know about yet are selling them, and therefore you have a greater chance of getting tickets from that site. An example that I can think of, which worked for me, was when we got tickets for Fall Out Boy at Heaven. They had only advertised them on C-Tickets, but they were available on gigs and tours as well. So it's just something just worth thinking about. It's probably easier to get tickets on sites that don't have a queue. So they should be prioritized over ones that do have a queue. Load up a clock, and the second it says the time that the tickets are meant to be released, so whether it's like 10 o'clock, for instance, or, or even just a second before 10 o'clock, refresh the page, and then the tickets should become available. If they're not, refresh ASAP, just refresh ASAP. And sometimes they can load a few seconds after. Just make sure you refresh it just straight away after you've tried the first time and tickets still haven't become available. Because don't be despaired if it says tickets not available, just refresh it, because sometimes there's a little bit of a lag and they can load a few seconds after. In general, it's on the dot, but just an FYI that don't despair if you click refresh on the dot and suddenly they're not available. Give it a chance. For queues, it's a bit trickier. Ticketmaster's queue does appear to be random. It does not matter what time you join. I've tried to join at various times, and I've noticed a particular time for me where it works well. Not always, but it works better than other times. I'm not going to share that because my understanding is that for other people, there's other times that it might work better for. So my advice would be to try and, if you're not getting yourself in a good queue position at this time, try a later time or an earlier time and see if that works better for you. I've heard some say that it works better for them as soon as the waiting room's open. And I've heard others say waiting 1 minute before and then they're able to get through quicker. My advice would be to experiment, and maybe experiment for artists who you're not too fussed about getting tickets for, but there's a queue system, and see how it goes. For other sites that do have a queue system, I've heard stories that the earlier you join, the more likely you get to the front. I'm not saying that's guaranteed, but that's just worth thinking about. And for non-Ticketmaster websites, I would use one normal browser and one incognito browser to increase your chances, as you usually don't need to log in before you're going on the queue. Ticketmaster, you do need to log in before going in the queue. And that's the other thing with Ticketmaster. Just make sure your phone's up to date. Make sure your email can, receive codes. Your phone can receive codes. You've got good signal. I know it sounds so simple, but it's those times of stress that can actually make these simple things so much more complicated. I just want to clarify, these methods do not mean you will definitely get tickets. It just gives you a better chance. I know it sounds obvious, but I've been able to get a fair few tickets with the techniques above. Take that at Coco, Gorilla's upcoming show. They're going to perform Demon Days in full in Hackney. President at the Garage, as I mentioned. Block Party as the Garage. Def Havana at Amero, which is a very small venue. Soft Play at Shoreditch. And the Cover-Ups, Billy Joe Armstrong's band, cover band at the O2 Academy in Islington. 21 Pilots at the Electric Ballroom. And Linkin Park at the O2, amongst others. My other final tip, if flexible and possible, is to keep checking regularly for resale, etc. But also on the day, very occasionally on the day, tickets can just pop up. So if you're flexible and local, then it might be worth seeing if that's possible as well. I've really only noticed that on Ticketmaster and AXS. Now, Ticketmaster, the other thing to just bear in mind about Ticketmaster is sometimes they put tickets off sale 24 hours before. Don't get caught up by that. Check the day before and also see on the day if it's possible to get tickets. Doesn't do that for every time, but it's just worth bearing that in mind. Like I say, everything I've said here is just advice. It's not fact. It's my views and my feelings, and I've tailored it, and I've been able to get tickets for a lot of shows that I've wanted to. I haven't been able to get tickets for every show I've wanted to, but for the majority of shows that I've wanted to go to, I've been able to get tickets. So real good luck in getting tickets for any show that you want to in the future, because I know that it's tricky. I know that they're expensive. And that's the other thing about President, which was really cool. They set the price really cheap, and fair play to them. And it's just a shame that touts are selling them at such an extortionate price. So like I say, if you're a fan of President, please, please, please enter my giveaway. Instagram, Full Circle Podcast, DC. Follow the page, like the relevant post, and comment who you want to bring along. Tag their account, and fingers crossed that you win. Okay, how do we link from President, the Name of the Father, to the next song? Now, rumours are some members have been to the year 3000. Another band that has been to the year 3000 is Busted. And of course, the second song is Busted, Year 3000. So check that song out. I really hope you like that one. classic, that one is. An absolute classic. I want to actually talk through the top 10 back then. So the number one was David Snedden, Stop Living the Lie. I must admit, I don't really remember that one. Busted, Year 3000 is number two. I'm not going to say what number three is because, well, I'm giving a little spoiler. You might know why I might have skipped number three. Number four is True by Jameson. Number five is Monday Under Butch Care, Punjabi MC. What a tune that is. Number six, Eminem, Lose Yourself. Again, a really good song. Number seven, If You're Not the One by Daniel Bedingfield. Number 8 in the charts is Laylo and Bushwhacker, Love Story versus Finally. Number 8, an absolute tune was, number 9, an absolute tune, Electric Six, Danger, High Voltage. And then number 10, Just the Way I'm Feeling by Feeder, which was really good. Honorary shout out to the Cheeky Girls with their song, Cheeky Song, Touch My Bum, which was number 11. I think that's highly inappropriate, and that song would certainly not make the charts these days. Very, very cheeky by the Cheeky Girls. So why did I leave out number 3? Because that is the next song, because Busted made it to Year 3000 and they got it to number 2 in the charts. And the song that was number 3 just behind them, but I think it did get to number 1 at an earlier time. Sound of the Underground by Girls Aloud. I must admit, I'm not their biggest fan, but that is an absolute tune. Sound of the Underground, a really, really good song. Check that one out. Girls Aloud, Sound of the Underground. A good little rhyme there, actually. Quite easy to say on the tongue. Right. Okay, so now it is time for some shout outs. So a few weeks ago, I asked if anyone wanted some shout outs. I've given some shout outs on Mike and Rhiannon's show, which was a really, really fun show. Thank you so much to them for doing that. And I'm going to give some more shout outs this week. And there's going to be some more shout outs next week with my guest, which I will announce later. So first shout out to Kieran, Uri, Tutiet, boom, 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 boom. So I knew him as Kiwi Tuts, really, really cool guy. He's really into his Eurovision and just a very nice, friendly guy who I met once in London many, many years ago now. And we know each other because we used to record on the AWWIR, the All Wrestling Week in Review podcast hosted by Dan the Cannon back then, many, many years ago now. And it was a really good format. Anyone could just send a recording of anything that they wanted to talk about. And I thought that was really cool. Very, very friendly, very supportive to anyone that just wanted a medium to sort of talk about things wrestling related. So I thought that was really, really good. And that was really fun and really, really enjoyed that. And Kiwi Tut's a really, really good guy. So shout out. Thanks so much for wanting one. You're absolute legend. Hopefully we can have a catch up soon. Next shout out is Kaylee Balls. Boom, 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 boom. So Kaylee works at James Paget. She worked in ED, one of the healthcare workers when I was there. And I believe late last year you qualified in nursing. That's so cool. That's absolutely incredible. And I hope that's going all okay and you're keeping well. Would be great to catch up. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Next shout out is to Kieran Scott. Boom, 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 boom. Another Paget colleague, fellow doctor. Really only knew each other for a year during our second year of when we were both doctors. And even though I think we did a lot of different specialty jobs, we were more often than not on call or on nights at the same time. So we just chat about random things, and that was really fun. I know you're into your cars, and I believe I have a young child. So I hope fatherhood and doctor life is treating you well. And yeah, would be great to catch up sometime. So thank you again for the support. Next, Nicola Ferguson. Boom, 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 boom. Nikki, we absolutely done. We worked in surgery together. We actually worked Christmas Day together, which was great fun, or as you'd say from Northern Ireland, great crack. She was one of the contestants of DC's Lines with the Ladies back in the day when I got her and the others to guess if a line I wrote on Tinder was real or not. I mean, pretty embarrassed to now say that, but it was good content at the time. I also work with her now husband, Will, in A&E too. He is the top guy. And I think they have a baby too. So I hope parenthood is going well for you both. And it would be great to catch up. It's been so long. So thanks again, Nikki, for the support. Really, really appreciate it. Next, Karen Andre, one of the incredible nurses on the surgical ward. Lots of fun. And we, along with the others, had a fair few fun nights in Yarmouth and Norwich. My understanding is that you now live in Cambridge and you work at Addenbrooke's. Is that right? That's so cool. I hope you're loving Cambridge life, and a catch-up is much needed. Boom, 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 boom. Last and not least, although you know what, like saying that though, who is the least then? when you say last but not least, who is the least out of them? Because then that sounds really harsh. Someone has to be the least, right? Unless you say they're all exactly the same, which is what I'm going to say. Last and exactly the same as everyone else. Andy Chan, boom, 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 boom. What a legend. He was a year above me at Paget at work, and I really enjoyed our time just chilling, playing some video games at his. Really, really fun. I actually tried VR at his for the first time, and that was a cool experience. That was really fun. He is currently in Hong Kong, and it would be great to catch up soon. And, I don't want to tempt fate, but there's a possibility that we could be catching up sooner rather than later. So hopefully that all works out. Shout out to Andy Chan. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you so much to everyone that's asked for a shout out. And thank you so much to everyone that's supported this show. If anyone else wants a shout out, please, please, please ask for one and you will get the patented boom, boom, boom shout out. Okay, Girls Aloud, Sound of the Underground. How does that link to the next song? So Girls Aloud have another song called Love Machine, which Arctic Monkeys famously covered on the Live Lounge in 2006. That was so good. Check that one out. It was so fun. And the next song is therefore Arctic Monkeys, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. The song that got them to where they are today. They are so good. Their first two albums, really, really good. Their third and fourth, I think, sort of dipped a little bit, but still had some really good songs. And then they came back with AM, which was just incredible. A really, really fun album. And I would definitely check that one out if you haven't already. Unfortunately, for me personally, I know it's definitely been a bit Marmitey. The last two albums just haven't been for me. But fair play to those that have liked it. It's definitely different for them. And I'm quite interested to see if they're going to carry on with that sound, because if they are, I don't think they're going to be for me, for the foreseeable future. But if they go back maybe with a little bit of a mix, there's always that possibility I might get back into them again. But yeah, Arctic Monkeys, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor is the fourth song on the Full Circle. It is now time to bring back a feature which I haven't done for years. In fact, I don't even think I did it on Facebook Live when it was a Facebook Live show. I've only done this on the radio show. It is time to bring back DC's Rant of the Week. So like I said, this show is meant to be about positivity. We're going to have positive vibes, but just every so often, something just rubs me the wrong way. And I want to know what you think. So sometimes I go to the gym and I do workouts at the gym, but sometimes if time or for ease, I might do home workouts. And a home workout I would definitely recommend if you want your arms to be done is a 300 rep bicep and tricep workout. So the two separate videos, one for the biceps, one for the triceps, and the YouTube channel is HasFit. And I did just the tricep one because I was a bit tight for time on that day. And it's very motivating, but I always forget there's just some things that he says that are just a little bit annoying. And one of the things that he says is keep pushing yourself. This is all 100% mental. That is not true. How can he say that? I'm not saying that there isn't a mental element to it, of course, but how can you say that exercising is 100% mental? Newsflash, it is not. If I'd broken my foot or my arm, any amount of mental effort isn't going to allow me to exercise or push through that. In fact, it's really a detriment. I mean, I've been running for a few years now, not very fast. And over the last year, I've definitely been getting quicker. I've started to get some knee pain. Unfortunately, I've probably been pushing through that more than I should have. I've now had to take a step back and I've now had to stop running for at least a month or so. And you could argue that because I continued pushing myself, because mentally I thought I could do it, but physically, no, I couldn't do that because actually that's taken me a step back. So no, you cannot say it's 100% mental. You've definitely got to have the drive and the urge to do it, and that does come from the mind, but you've also got to have the physical health. You can't push yourself too much, otherwise you're going to get injured. If you have an injury, if you're exercising, Do not push it where you're actually worsening things just because some so-called exercise guru has said exercising is 100% mental. My advice, and I wish I listened to myself before, let go of the ego. Of course, push yourself. And yes, there are times that involve mental effort, but mental effort can only work if your body is physically capable of doing so. If you stop exercising for a while, no amount of mental effort is likely going to get you back at the level you're at straight away. And actually trying to do so is dangerous. So that's not okay. In short, exercising is not 100% mental. It's primarily physical with some mental effort needed. For example, when tiring, you're in your last couple of reps and on a bench press, or you're running a race, etc. And there's other things that are just important, like nutrition, but of course that's more like pre and post workout. Sorry to put a Debbie Downer on this 100% mental mentality on exercising. It's crucial to have like the mindset, but it's not that straightforward. And I'm going to quote the great Mike Shinoda. This is, oh no, I just realised as I was about to say it, am I going to get done for copyright? Do you know what? Let's go for it. And this is a bit of an experiment. Let's see if I'm allowed to say these lyrics. And if I get a strike, I'm sorry, but let's see. As the great Mike Shinoda says, this is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. So how does Arctic Monkeys, I Bet You Look on the Dance Floor, lead to the last song on the Full Circle? Arctic Monkeys have headlined a lot of festivals, including Glastonbury in 2013, which is where I saw them, and they were great, as Tony the Tiger says. They also headlined Reading and Leeds Festival in 2009. That bill had so many good acts, and on the same day as Arctic Monkeys, had The Prodigy, Maximo Park, Ian Brown, The Courtineers, Enter Shikari, and Fight Star, and the last song is Fight Star, I Am the Message. Now about Fight Star, I didn't really know much about them, and then I heard them on Radio 1 and they played this song, I Am the Message, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So this was the first song that I enjoyed of Fight Star, and they've got some really, really good songs. So check them out and check that song out. Fight Star, I Am the Message is the last song on the Full Circle today. So BuzzFeed keep acting as if they're this sort of genie that's able to, they're this psychic that's able to predict or being able to guess your name or your date of birth, or where you were born or whatever. And they haven't got it right for me once. So this is a BuzzFeed quiz to see if they can guess my birth month based on my song preferences. They have a feeling they'll get this right, but you haven't got it right once. They're going to go through the whole alphabet. So I do apologize. I'll try and be as quick as I can. But to have a go yourself, I'll put the quiz link on the show description. So have a look and see if it gets it right for you. First, pick a song that begins with A. A Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay, Adore You by Harry Styles, All By Myself by Celine Dion, or Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. That's got to be A Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay. Really, really good song. I like Adore You by Fred again, but not Adore You by Harry Styles. But that's not what they're asking. What's the best B song? Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, Born This Way by Lady Gaga, Bye 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 by NSYNC. Not really that fussed about any of those songs. Let's go for Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Okay. C. Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley, Come Together by the Beatles, Creep by Radiohead, and Cuff It by Beyonce. Now, I genuinely don't like any of those songs, but let's go for, because it's the only one I know the song, even though I don't like it, is Creep by Radiohead. Which D song is the best? Dancing Queen by ABBA, Diamonds by Rihanna, Don't Stop Believing by Journey, or Driver's License by Olivia Rodrigo. Diamonds by Rihanna is the one I'm going to go for. Select a song that starts with E. Earthquake, but E-R-E-A-R-F, not E-A-R-T-H, by Tyler, the Creator. Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter. Everything I Do It For You by Bryan Adams. Man, these songs, they're not really my cup of tea, unfortunately. Let's go for Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles, because that's the one I've heard of, but I don't even know if I like that song. Right, F. Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Fireflies by Owl City. Flowers by Miley Cyrus. Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd. So I do like three of those songs. Fast Car, Freebird and Fireflies. My favourite out of those three is probably Fireflies by Owl City. Now G. Get Lucky by Daft Punk. Ghost by Justin Bieber, Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper, and Good Luck Babe by Chappelle Roan. Get Lucky, definitely. What a tune that is. H, Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, Hey Jude by the Beatles, Highway to Hell by AC/DC, and Hot to Go by Chappelle Roan. Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Yeah, I think I'd go for that one. I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me by Whitney Houston, If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys, Imagine by John Lennon, and Iris by Goo Goo Dolls. Iris, really, really good song. Really like that song. J, Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley, Jenny from the Block by Jennifer Lopez, Jolene by Dolly Parton, and Just Give Me a Reason by Pink. Don't know, maybe Jailhouse Rock? I think that's quite a good song. I think that's all right. Yeah, let's go for Jailhouse Rock. Okay, K, Kill Bill by SZA, Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan, Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, or Kyoto by Phoebe Bridgers. Kung Fu Fighting. Let's go for that. L, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac, Let It Be by the Beatles, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, Lose You to Love Me by Selena Gomez. Living on a Prayer. It's got to be Living on a Prayer. Well, this is going on longer than I thought, so you can skip it if you want. I do apologise if this has taken its time. M, Mamma Mia by ABBA, Misery Business by Paramore, Mr. Brightside by The Killers, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. Mr. Brightside. N, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, Night Changes by One Direction, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, Numb by Linkin Park. Gotta go for Numb. O, Ocean Eyes by Billie Eilish, Oh Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison, Only Girl in the World by Rihanna, Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. I don't know, that's a tough one. Only Girl in the World? That's all right. P, Piano Man by Billy Joel, Please 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 by Sabrina Carpenter, Proud Mary by Ike and Tina Turner, PYT, Pretty Young Thing by Michael Jackson. Genuinely don't know any of them. Let's go for Piano Man by Billy Joel. Q, Que Sera Sera, Whatever Will Be by Doris Day, Queen of My Heart by Westlife, Quicksand by SZA, Quitter by Carrie Underwood. Again, no idea. Don't really like any of them, but let's go for Que Sera Sera. R, Radio Gaga by Queen, Respect by Aretha Franklin, Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, and Rolling in the Deep by Adele. Again, tough one. Let's go for Radio Gaga. S, September by Earth, Wind and Fire, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, Staying Alive by the Bee Gees, Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana, surely. T, Taste by Sabrina Carpenter, Texas Hold'em by Beyonce, Thriller by Michael Jackson, Tiny Dancer by Elton John. Taste is the only Sabrina Carpenter song I've liked that has come on the full circle actually very recently. So let's go for Taste. You Got It Bad by Usher, Umbrella by Rihanna, Under Pressure by Queen and David Bowie, Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson. Yeah, okay, let's go for Uptown Funk out of all of those. V, Valerie by Mark Ronson, Vienna by Billy Joel, Viva La Vida by Coldplay, Vogue by Madonna. Viva La Vida. Okay, W, Waterfalls by TLC, We Will Rock You by Queen, What's Love Gotta Do by Tina Turner, and Wonderwall by Oasis. Yeah, Wonderwall. Gotta be Wonderwall. X. Okay, Zanny by Billie Eilish, EXO by Beyonce, Escape by Michael Jackson, and XXX by Kendrick Lamar. I've genuinely not heard of any of these songs. Let's go for Kendrick Lamar, change it up. Y, Yeah by Usher, Yellow by Coldplay, You're Still the One by Shania Twain, and Your Song by Elton John. Yellow by Coldplay. Z, Zanzibar by Billy Joel, Zero by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie, Zombie by the Cranberries. Ziggy Stardust is the only one I've heard of, so let's go for that. Okay, let's see if they have been able to guess my birth month. Based on your song preferences, I bet you're a July, August, or September baby. Am I right? No. November is my birth month. November is my birth month, and you just haven't got it right again. So frustrating. BuzzFeed could not guess my month. Why am I bothering? I don't know how many I've done so far. I think I've done 3, and every time it's been wrong. So surely it's just not going well. Surely they're just never going to get it, right? They're never going to get it. How does Fight Star I Am the Message link to the first song? Rumblings are the lead singer of Five Star might have a close association with President. Some might say he could be the leader, hence completing the full circle. Thank you so much for listening to the show. I really, really appreciate it. It's been really fun to make, and thank you again for the support. Now, don't forget to go on my Instagram page, Full Circle Podcast DC, follow it, like the post for the President giveaway, 2 tickets to see them at the garage Wednesday, 30th of July, and tag the person you want to bring along. Thank you so much to everyone that's been tuning in, that's been supporting. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to announce that I have a guest next week. His name is Abid Mushtaq. He is making his Full Circle debut, although not really a debut because you always hear his words of wisdom. It is exciting to have him live, and of course he's going to share his words of wisdom. Thank you so much again to everyone that's been supporting me. I really cannot thank you enough. I will say thank you so much until I've said thank you too many times, and that is not going to be enough because I will not say it too many times. Just remember this. Stay safe. Don't eat beef.